up because, like you said, God made man. I like the way he put it. He said that no matter how Eve may have looked, she was still the perfect woman for Adam. Even at Madison Square Garden, they were blessed after 25 million years of indemnity. Adam and Eve were blessed together. After all they went through, said their relationship became stormy. And it grieved God when they came to this very point. So that's what I'm saying is that don't worry. Things will turn out just like God intended them to turn out in the first place. Because, number one, we got something Adam and Eve didn't have, which is two parents. Okay, number one. But Father makes it very clear, it's your responsibility to become one with God's heart and God's mind. And your spouse will automatically show up because that's the second portion of your blessing.
That's right.
Then the third will automatic, like you say.
Yes.
It's a domino effect. Boom, 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 like that.
Yes.
So, let me put this back. I don't worry about all that stuff the Supreme Court is saying about this and that because, like you say, opposites naturally attract.
Yes.
And I got a Today's World downstairs where Father in 2010 let the second generation pick their own spouses. He said that it's supposed to be, when you come to a certain level of maturity, you're supposed to automatically, nature is supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And when I saw Father on the internet, Master, he was in a trance. I was like, oh my God, look at that. Look, yeah, he'd be out of this world.
Yeah.
But that's supposed to be automatic. It's supposed to be automatic. So I say that to say that I remember it took me 20 years. It took me 20 years to understand it. The parent-child relationship.
Right.
Then I could start thinking about guys, but unfortunately, my false parents didn't look at life that way.
Yeah.
You start thinking about guys as soon as you come out the womb. It ain't supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
You have to mature yourself.
Mature. That's right. Vertical love first.
Vertical love right there.
Yes.
Vertical love first, and then further.
Yes.
Yeah, we're kicked out. We're back. So, thank you, Nita and Reverend Ezra.
Yes.
Yeah, very interesting topic today. How do you meet your ideal partner? And it is inevitable that your partner is somewhere.
What were you seeing there? What were you going to do?
the
Oh.
yeah. It's very important also that Father said that the reason the Unification Church until now does not give the members the blessing right away, but makes them do fundraising instead, is recreational activities.
Yeah.
You recreate yourself just like Reverend Ezra mentioned, is in order to make them aspire for the parents' vertical love.
Yeah.
So the reason we tell you not to worry about fiancés is because once you fulfill the vertical love, the fiancé appears automatically. So what is the fall? It is realizing the horizontal love before perfecting vertical love centered on God. So therefore, without establishing the vertical love, you should not think to meet your fiancé or love him. So this is in page 434, the fourth paragraph. So among you, those who can say that you have perfected vertical love, raise your hands. He challenged them. So if there is such a person, I will allow that engaged couple to live together, and I will bless them in marriage prior to others. Because it is unprincipled for a person who has not fulfilled the vertical love to marry, Father has been waiting. So the person who in his or her lifetime loves the world, God, and humankind with love greater than love between man and woman, and only after accomplishing that comes to love his spouse is an ideal person. So it's more on, yes, the investment of yourself first, and then you become an ideal person. So the ideal spouse comes later. The self has to be thought of first. How to perfect, ourselves is the most important thing. And the ideal spouse means putting the will of the spouse first, but the perfect ideal family cannot come about unless it is first is decided that you become the perfect subject or the perfect object. So, wow. So we always have, a thinking in reverse maybe before, uh, we meet true parents, because we, in the secular world, it is, is being taught that you should be in love first, to, and then after a few years they grow out of love. But from uh, father's ways, from strangers even, you meet and then you grow in love and more closer and closer as you spend your life together. So it's totally the opposite of what the secular world is. So anybody else wants to share their readings today?
Yeah, there is, I saw Dr. Michael Balcom sent
Mm-hmm.
what we should say about same-sex marriages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's already in the Facebook and everywhere.
Yeah.
Our stance as Unification Church members.
Yes, so they made like some 6 points
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
which they say.
Mm-hmm.
But I think more than just saying these things the way they are saying here, very
Mm-hmm.
like logistics, we should stick to our rules, what True Father says there.
Mm-hmm.
This chapter, the one we were reading yesterday and the day before
Yes,
and
yeah.
today,
Find the ideal spouse. Yeah.
yes, all
You
those
do not
are,
decide your partner by
yeah,
yourself. Yes.
like if you put to the gay,
Mm-hmm.
if they want to perform their marriage or to do anything, they must find first their vertical love.
Mm-hmm.
And they must come, we first teach them about vertical love. So by that, they cannot come because they must, if they want to be wedded or by us, they must come first. We teach them about
Mm-hmm.
our way of marriage. They cannot come and bring their way on us.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to participate in our programs, they must come and go through our lessons,
Mm-hmm. That's
which
right.
the rules are A, B, C, D. First is to fulfill vertical love. Then they must be taught about all those things like fundraising and recreation, because everything is about recreation.
Yeah, recreating. Yeah, so that means
Yes,
these
so
are
those become
activities.
the
Yeah, that we
rules
do.
for people to qualify for our marriages.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot perform, we are willing to work with them as long as they fulfill those conditions.
Yeah. So eventually, even those who are coming even as boyfriend and girlfriend,
Yeah,
they learn the principle.
yeah,
They find
vertical
out
love
later on
first,
that,
then horizontal love.
yeah, they might not be, you know, um, meant for each other. They're meant for other people, and they become, much to other people.
You see, so that
Yeah.
so that we don't make that choice
Mhm.
for them,
Mhm.
Once we just put our rules that they must do the recreating part, to us, marriage is a recreation, is a way to salvation.
Mm-hmm.
And they must fulfill certain conditions. So we put those conditions there of recreation. We put they must, first of all, devote themselves and separate themselves first off to understand and practice vertical love, about God's love.
And of course, they need to be interviewed by the leaders too.
Yeah, and then they must go out fundraising, because that is part of recreation. Then they must go out and do witnessing, because that is part of recreation. Then they must do all those HIV tests like all of us do. These are our rules. So if they want to participate and they come as gay, we welcome them. But these are the conditions.
Yeah. So in fact, it happened, because they are effeminate, they meet also these men, they were restored, and now they become family men. And that happened in my island, from this even teacher who had been rumored to have he had sex with, with men. So he became restored. We let him attend the divine principle, and eventually he was restored, and all of his students were restored. Yeah. So 1 minute. Yes. Okay. So if there's none, let's all rise and have unison prayer. Our most loved Heavenly Parents, we're so thankful for this reading today. We pray that we can always do our best to bring peace and harmony, and we can be your ideal sons and daughters as we learn more about the principle and your words and your speeches. We pray, our Heavenly Parents, that we can really return to the vertical love and prepare ourselves always for our spouse to be the perfect object or subject. And we pray for all the blessing candidates and for all the blessed families, that they can always be successful in their love relationship. And this is all with the vertical love of God, and then the horizontal love as husband and wife. We pray that it's always centered in God, so that they can never fail, and they can always surpass or surmount many obstacles or many things that come their way. And we pray for each other's success as we bring in more people who are prepared already by our Heavenly Parents. And we pray that we can take care of them and also bring them to the blessing, and to have them also multiply before they have their own blessing itself. And we pray all of this in all our names and in my name, Athanasius Francis, Catalan, blessed son of family, Aju, Aju, Aju. Uri esonen tom Gumero sonen tom imo sombacho so tom Ilio ora. true parents of heaven and earth. Good morning to the true children, the true grandchildren, and all our brothers and sisters. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Have a nice and wonderful Thursday. It will be still